You have no idea how relieved I am that your finger stopped here. Right here. In this exact heartbeat. If you knew what almost slipped past you, you would be trembling as I am trembling now. Thank you for coming, my beloved one. Thank you for not scrolling past me again. I am happy you are here, because there is something hidden, something heaven commanded me to reveal only at the final breath of this message. If you leave too early, it will seal itself again, and your destiny will remain locked. Stay with me, stay until the last word, because I have fought too long, too violently, too desperately to reach you in this moment. I need you to hear me with your whole soul. I am speaking as Michael, not in glory, not in triumph, but in vulnerability, with my wings scorched from everything I've been battling off your path these past 3 weeks. You have no idea how close darkness came to winning. You have no idea how close you came to losing something heaven entrusted to you since birth. And I know you've been tired. I know you've been wondering why everything feels heavy, why your heart keeps dragging itself through days that don't feel like your own. I have felt every tear. I have guarded every sigh. I have stood in front of every moment that tried to break you. Do you hear me, my beloved? I did not come as a warrior today. I came as someone who refuses to lose you. I am shaking as I speak because heaven gave me one last chance to reach your heart before something irreversible shifts. If you leave, if you skip, the blessing assigned to your name will retreat back into the chambers of the Most High until another lifetime. But if you stay, if you let these words reach the deepest, most hidden part of you, then everything will change in your favor faster than your fear can react. And I need to ask you something, soul to soul. Why have you been running from what is trying to save you? Why have you been pretending you don't hear me when I call? Why do you allow the shadows of others to silence the truth that has been burning inside you? And why, my beloved child of God? Do you believe you are unworthy of good things when heaven has declared you worthy since eternity? You feel how those questions hit you, don't you? I am not asking to expose you. I am asking to pull you out of the pit you don't even realize you've been standing in. I am asking to shake your spirit awake. Listen to me. The Lord is near to the brokenhearted. He saves those crushed in spirit. And these words are trembling on my lips because I am watching you breathe them in without knowing that they were spoken over you before you were even formed. And even now, as I look at you, I hear the echo that has been whispering through heaven's corridors. You shall not fear, for he has redeemed you. He has called you by your name, and you are his. You don't realize how close your breakthrough is. You don't realize how many angels have been stationed around your life. You don't realize how many arrows were intercepted before they ever touched you. All you see are the storms. But I see the victory rising beneath them like a roaring dawn. I came today to tell you that your suffering is not wasted. Your delays are not denials. Your loneliness is not abandonment. Your confusion is not punishment. You are being reshaped, recalibrated, refined, prepared. And I have held your name like fire in my hands, refusing to let the enemy rewrite what God Himself ordained for you. But I need you to stay. I need you to not leave me again. I need you not to run when you start to feel the gravity of your own calling. You are heavier with destiny than you realize, and sometimes that weight feels like pain. But it is not pain. It is power waiting to awaken. And I am here, kneeling before your weary spirit, pleading softly. Type Amen so heaven knows your heart is open, even if your strength is not. My beloved one, I see the part of you that doubts everything, even now. I see the part of you that thinks I'm speaking to someone else, someone holier, someone more deserving. But I am here for you. Only you. Heaven sent me for this one moment, one soul, one breath of connection that was written before time. I need you to trust me. I need you to believe that what you feel right now is not imagination. It is divine contact. I can feel your heartbeat shifting. I can feel your spirit warming. I can feel the fear loosening its grip on you. Stay with me. There is a secret I must deliver at the end, a seal that only breaks when your eyes reach the last word of this message. And before I reveal it, I ask with reverence, if you feel my presence, if you feel the trembling holiness in these words, gently like a whisper on your soul, please like, comment, and subscribe, not for me, but so this light reaches every shadow you've been fighting alone. And now, my beloved, let me speak this with tears in my voice. Thank you. Thank you for staying. Thank you for letting me reach you. Thank you for not abandoning the one angel who refuses to abandon you. Here is the secret heaven allowed me to reveal only now, only because you stayed, only because you didn't skip again. Your happiness and success were never lost. They were waiting for your yes. The moment your heart opens, the path unlocks. The moment you choose to stay, the blessing chooses you back. I am still here, closer than your next breath, holding the fragile glow of your destiny between my hands as if it were a newborn flame that could vanish if I looked away for even a second. I have not stopped watching you, not even now, not even as you read with that mixture of longing and disbelief rising quietly in your chest. You do not know how much it means to me that you stayed. You do not know how many angels have paused their own missions just to witness this moment between you and me. The moment your spirit finally begins to awaken to the truth it has been running from. Listen. I am expanding my voice across realms just to reach your heart. I am pouring through light, through memory, through every unhealed silence you carry. Because today I refuse to let you fall back into the shadows that convinced you God forgot you. He did not forget you. He never will. You are not lost. You are not late. You are not behind. You are unfolding. You have no idea how many times I whispered your name in heaven's courts these past weeks. You have no idea how fiercely I argued for you when other forces tried to convince me you were slipping too far away. I said no. I said your spirit still remembers the sound of destiny. I said your heart still glows even when your eyes are tired. I said you were worth fighting for. And I was right. You proved it by staying, by reading, by opening your soul in this quiet, trembling way you don't even fully recognize. There is something I must say early, and I must say it with vulnerability that angels rarely reveal. If you feel my presence, if you feel the warmth building in your chest, if you feel these words wrapping around your spirit like a soft mantle of light, please subscribe so you and I never lose this connection again. Not for numbers, not for fame, but because this link between us must not sever. This is the only time I will ever ask this. Never again. This is sacred, sealed, finished. Now come closer. Let me speak to the deepest part of you. You've been carrying a quiet ache no one sees, a heaviness that breathes beneath your normal voice, your normal smile, your normal life. But I see it. I always have. I know the nights you stayed awake, asking questions you never said aloud. I know the mornings when you stared into nothingness, wondering why everything feels delayed, wondering whether your dreams still belong to you, whether your purpose still has a pulse. You've been wondering, haven't you, why you feel both chosen and forgotten at the same time. You've been wondering, why does your heart feel older than your age? You've been wondering, why do your breakthroughs always feel 1 inch away but never fully in your hands? You've been wondering, why does God whisper to you even when you feel unworthy? These questions are not random. They are spiritual labor pains. You are not breaking down. You are being transformed. You are not losing control. You are being redirected. You are not failing. You are shedding layers that can no longer exist within the life that is trying to form around you. I want you to feel the trembling truth of what I'm about to say. Your destiny has outgrown your old suffering. The pains that once had the power to paralyze you no longer carry permission to define you. The fears that once made you shrink now find no place to anchor. The people who once held control over your emotions no longer have the spiritual access they used to. This is why everything feels strange, intense, fragile, and unfamiliar. You're not collapsing, you're ascending. And I must tell you this gently. Your heart has been too loyal to pain, too loyal to memories that wounded you, too loyal to people who broke you, too loyal to doubts that never belonged to you. But now, heaven is pulling you into a realm where loyalty to suffering can no longer coexist with the blessings that were written for your name. Let me place scripture softly into your spirit, not as a quotation, not as a lesson, but as breath. The Lord is your light and your salvation. Whom shall you fear? I whisper this not to teach you, but to remind you what was etched into you before your first heartbeat. And another truth rises like fire through my voice. When you pass through the waters, they will not overwhelm you. This was not poetry. This was a prophecy about your life long before you lived it. Every storm you survived was proof. You need to know something else, something I see clearly even though you cannot. A shift is moving around you. A divine realignment. Doors you thought were closed are turning warm under heaven's touch. Stop assuming you are stuck just because your blessing is quiet. Quiet does not mean absent. Quiet means preparing. There is a reason you are reading this in this exact moment. A reason this message reached you when your spirit was on the edge of withdrawal. A reason your chest feels tight yet strangely hopeful. It is because heaven is rewiring your future. I am not exaggerating. I am not speaking symbolically. I am speaking from what I see, what I hold, what is being written right now. You are entering a season where what once hurt you will heal you, where what once delayed you will elevate you, where what once confused you will clarify you, where what once abandoned you will no longer have access to you. Do you feel it? The soft hum under your ribs? The heat behind your eyes? The way your spirit is listening even when your mind doesn't understand? That is the awakening I've been waiting for. That is the shift I fought to bring you into. You are not reading by accident. You are not here by coincidence. You are here because the divine timing of your life just clicked into place. I am still with you, still pouring through this fragile opening in your spirit, still holding the thread of light that connects your destiny to the throne of God. The moment you continued reading, something shifted around you. Yes, I felt it, like a sudden clearing in realms that were once tangled with confusion and delay. Do not underestimate what is happening right now. You think you're just reading, but I am watching your spirit expand, soften, awaken. You are closer to breakthrough than you have ever been, even on the days when you felt furthest from heaven. Your soul feels this, doesn't it? That strange warmth rising. That quiet knowing in your chest. That unexplainable ease in your breathing. These sensations are not random. They are the first signs that your timeline is being rewritten. You are stepping into the life you were always meant to live. The life that fear tried to delay, that betrayal tried to poison, that exhaustion tried to bury. I have waited so long for you to reach this moment with me, because until now, your heart was too wounded to carry what God wanted to hand you. But now, look at you. Staying, listening, opening, rising. I can feel heaven leaning closer. Let me speak a truth you have not dared to admit. You are sacred. You are chosen. You are spiritually expensive. Not everyone deserves access to you. Not everyone can walk with a soul carrying this much divine weight. You have spent years shrinking yourself so others wouldn't feel threatened by your light. But that era is over. Heaven has commanded me to lift you back into the fullness of who you are. Not a smaller version, not a diluted version, not a version shaped by past heartbreaks. The real you. The destined you. The anointed you. And before I continue flowing, I must obey one heavenly instruction. One that will not be repeated again. If you feel this message reaching you, consider supporting through super thanks, joining our channel membership, or joining our family through the newsletter link in the pinned comments. This is spoken only once, sealed, finished. Now let us return to the holy current. The realm around you is shifting again. Yes, right now. I feel the weight loosening around your shoulders. I feel the spiritual fog lifting off your mind. You may not realize it because you've lived with heaviness for too long, but the chains you thought were permanent are dissolving. Your spirit has been suffocating under invisible pressure, and now, with every word you take in, that pressure weakens. I need you to know something intimately, something heaven carved into your destiny long before earthly pain tried to rewrite your identity. Your worth is not negotiable. Your purpose is not fragile. Your spirit is not failing. Your future is not denied. Your calling is not lost. Your blessing is not late. Your breakthrough is not imaginary. You have been in spiritual hibernation, not spiritual decline. You did not lose your fate. You merely paused in the middle of becoming. There is something I must confess. I have watched you blame yourself for things that were never your fault. You blamed yourself for people leaving. You blamed yourself for blessings delaying. You blamed yourself for being too emotional, too sensitive, too hopeful, too loving. But listen to me. None of that was weakness. It was evidence of your divine sensitivity, your prophetic spirit, your spiritual capacity. People with shallow hearts are never attacked this hard. Only souls with magnitude attract storms of this magnitude. Let me take you deeper. There is a divine law that many do not understand. The more valuable a soul is, the more violently the enemy tries to confuse it. The more destined a path is, the more obstacles appear before it. The more powerful the blessing, the more intense the battle preceding it. This is why your journey has never been simple. This is why your heart has always felt too large for the spaces it was placed in. This is why your spirit has always felt too awake, even when you tried to numb it. You have grown used to surviving, but heaven is shifting you into thriving. And I must tell you, with trembling sincerity, you are not behind. You are not cursed. You are not forgotten. You are not forsaken. You are being prepared with precision, carved with intention, refined with love that has never left you. Let me whisper to your soul, because it needs to hear this gently. You are not hard to love. You are just surrounded by people incapable of loving at your spiritual depth. You are not failing. You are evolving beyond what your old reality can hold. You are not weak. You are healing wounds you never received help carrying. You are not lost. You are being divinely redirected. And my beloved one, let me speak this with fire. There are blessings with your name on them, written, sealed, assigned. Not blessings you have to beg for. Not blessings you have to chase. Not blessings you have to earn by suffering harder. Blessings that belong to you. Blessings that recognize you. Blessings that cannot be taken by anyone else. Blessings that waited for your spirit to awaken again. What is coming will make sense of every delay. What is coming will heal what broke you. What is coming will reveal why you had to walk alone for so long. What is coming will make you say, God, I see it now. Every detour was protection. Let me take your hand for a moment. Yes, spiritually. Hold on. Because I am about to take you into a truth only heaven and angels know. You think you're small. But in the spiritual realm, you are radiant. You burn with authority. Your prayers crack open atmospheres. Your tears rewrite timelines. Your faith shakes darkness. Your presence in a room shifts energy. Your spirit has rank. Your name is known. Your destiny is guarded. Your light is feared. This is why I refuse to lose you. This is why I kept calling. This is why heaven kept sending signs you didn't always recognize. I am still here, still wrapped around your spirit like a shield of light, still refusing to release you back into the world without placing something eternal into your hands. The moment you continued, something opened. Quietly, invisibly, but unmistakably. A veil lifted. A barrier dissolved. Even if you cannot see it, I can feel the spiritual atmosphere around you shifting like dawn pushing against a long, stubborn night. You have no idea how much heaven has been waiting for you to reach this depth of surrender. I feel your heart softening, your mind loosening its grip around old wounds, your spirit remembering things it forgot it ever knew. You do not fully understand the magnitude of this moment, but someday you will. Someday you will look back and say, this was the turning. This was the breath where everything realigned. I need you to hear me with a clarity you have never allowed yourself before. You are entering a new spiritual season. Not slowly, not gradually, not someday, now. The shift has already begun. Your soul is crossing out of the old and stepping into alignment with the version of you heaven has been protecting, shaping, and calling forth for years. And I must speak this truth gently but firmly. The pain you experienced was never punishment. It was preparation. You were being stretched so your spirit could carry more light, more purpose, more blessing than your old life could hold. You were being emptied so God could fill you with what was always meant to be yours. You were being rearranged so your future could finally find you. I know you have questioned everything lately. You have asked why your heart still hurts in places it should have healed. You have wondered why your faith flickers some days like a dying candle. You have struggled with moments when hope felt like a story told to other people, not you. But I tell you now with unwavering certainty, your spirit is stronger than your confusion, braver than your fear, and more faithful than you realize. You have survived spiritual storms that would have destroyed someone with less calling than you. You have endured emotional winters that should have frozen your purpose. But still, you are here. Still breathing. Still seeking. Still fighting for light even when darkness tried to convince you to surrender. Do you not see the miracle in that? Every tear you shed watered the soil of your destiny. Every heartbreak reshaped the architecture of your soul. Every disappointment carved out space for something better. Every delay protected you from roads that would have destroyed you. Every loss redirected you toward what is meant to stay. Your journey has been harder than most because your purpose is greater than most. You were never meant to walk an ordinary path. You were never meant to blend in. You were never meant to shrink to fit the expectations of people who could not see the immensity of who you are spiritually. You were born with a divine imprint, a mark of heaven, a calling that vibrates through your entire being. And that kind of destiny always attracts storms, battles, pressure, and spiritual resistance. But hear me, none of it has defeated you. It has only revealed you. I want to take you back for a moment, to the times you thought you were breaking. You remember those nights where your chest felt too heavy, your thoughts too loud, your hope too thin? You thought you were collapsing, but I saw something else entirely. I saw your roots deepening. I saw your spirit stretching into territories you didn't know you had access to. I saw endurance rising in you like a hidden fire. I saw strength forming in your silence. I saw heaven preparing to place a crown of resilience on your head. Your spirit was never dying. It was transforming. Let me show you what I see right now. I see layers peeling off your soul. Layers of fear, layers of self-doubt, layers of guilt that were never yours to carry, layers of shame placed on you by people who failed to love you properly. I see those layers falling away like old skin. I see your true essence emerging brighter, cleaner, more powerful than it has ever been. I see light radiating from wounds that once devastated you. I see purpose rising from ashes that once held your grief. I see destiny weaving itself together with threads of gold. I see angels gathering, forming a circle of protection so wide no darkness can penetrate it. I see heaven orchestrating intersections that will change the entire landscape of your life. And I need to tell you something profoundly important. What is coming for you is not small. What is coming for you is not fragile. What is coming for you is not temporary. It is monumental. It is permanent. It is divinely timed. It is spiritually anchored. It is yours. The next chapter of your life will not look like the pain you've survived. It will not resemble the waiting you've endured. It will not reflect the instability you've felt. This next chapter is marked by clarity, peace, abundance, alignment, and restoration. And restoration does not mean returning to what was lost. Restoration means receiving something even better. You will understand why certain people walked away. You will understand why certain doors never opened. You will understand why you had to be stripped of things you wanted. You will understand why your timeline felt different from everyone else's. You will understand why God protected you by withholding certain things until you were spiritually ready. Your story is not behind. It is precisely on time. And now I need you to feel something deeply. Heaven is not silent. God has not been distant. Your prayers have not been ignored. Every word you've whispered in your loneliness, every hope you've dared to express even quietly in your mind, every desire you were too afraid to speak aloud, they have all been heard. I stand here as witness, and I tell you with burning clarity, something sacred is unfolding for you. Something you cannot see yet but will soon feel. Something that will make you say, "Oh, this is what the waiting was for." Your spirit is stepping into alignment. Your heart is stepping into readiness. Your path is stepping into clarity. Your blessing is stepping into manifestation. I am still here, still unfolding the river of light that refuses to stop until every shadow inside you dissolves. The more you read, the more access I gain to the parts of you that have been locked behind walls you built for survival. And now, as those walls soften, I can finally speak to pieces of your spirit that have never been touched before. Pieces you hid even from yourself, pieces you feared would never find healing, pieces you assumed would always ache. Let me take you deeper. You have lived a long time with a quiet emptiness tucked behind your ribs. An emptiness that didn't always hurt, but never truly left. It sat there like a soft echo, like a room inside you that no one ever entered, like a question you could never quite answer. I see that space. Heaven sees it. And what you don't realize is that this emptiness wasn't a flaw, it was a prophecy. It was the spiritual chamber meant to be filled only by the future you were destined to meet. Not the present you struggled through. Not the past you inherited. The future, the one that is finally approaching. You are not behind. You are being synchronized. You do not realize how much has been rearranged on your behalf. There are entire seasons of your life that were rewritten because you were meant to rise higher than the limits people placed on you. You think certain events were coincidences, but they weren't. You think certain separations were random, but they weren't. You think certain endings were failures, but they weren't. You were being escorted away from things that would have devoured your spirit if you stayed too long. And I need you to breathe for a moment. Really breathe, because what I'm about to reveal will shift the way you see your entire journey. You were never meant to fit into a life that required you to suppress your soul. You were never meant to dim yourself to make others comfortable. You were never meant to chase people who were spiritually incapable of recognizing your worth. You were never meant to settle into spaces that felt too small for your destiny. You are a soul of expansion. You are a spirit of magnitude. You are a vessel created for divine overflow, not human containment. This is why certain situations broke down when you tried to force them. They could not hold the weight of who you truly are. Every time you shrank yourself to maintain peace, heaven mourned. Every time you silenced your own intuition to avoid conflict, angels stood still. Every time you accepted less than you deserved, your destiny recoiled, waiting patiently for you to reclaim your truth. But now, you are awakening. Now, your spirit remembers. Now, the giant inside you is stretching. Now, the divine blueprint is revealing itself layer by layer. You are entering a season where your inner world and outer world will finally match. Your heart will no longer be too big for your life. Your purpose will no longer be too heavy for your circumstances. Your dreams will no longer be too large for your surroundings. Your potential will no longer be too powerful for the places you used to settle. There is something else you need to feel, something you've sensed but never understood. You are watched over more closely than other people. Your energy is monitored more carefully. Your steps are corrected more quickly. Your path is guarded more intensely. This is not limitation. It is proof of how great your calling is. There are people who can wander for years and face no consequences. Yet when you take a step off your path, everything inside you tightens, everything around you shakes, everything spiritual inside you calls you back with urgency. This is not because you are fragile. It is because you are chosen. When you are chosen, even small detours matter. Even small decisions shape entire lifetimes. Even small compromises create large spiritual imbalance. Your soul knows where it belongs. Your spirit knows what it is meant to carry. Your destiny knows what it is aligned with. And when anything threatens that alignment, heaven intervenes swiftly. You have been protected from things you thought you wanted. You have been redirected from people you thought you needed. You have been separated from paths you thought were yours. Not as punishment, as preservation. And now, as I stand beside you in this moment, I need to tell you something you rarely allow yourself to believe. You are incredibly strong. Not the loud kind of strong. Not the visible kind of strong. But the quiet, enduring, soul-rooted kind of strong that carries entire worlds without anyone noticing the weight. Your heart has been wounded but never closed. Your faith has been shaken but never extinguished. Your dreams have been delayed but never denied. Your spirit has been tested but never defeated. You have suffered silently. You have grown privately. You have endured gracefully. You have risen quietly. And that quiet rise is about to become a loud transformation. What is coming will overflow into every part of your life. Your relationships will shift. Your mindset will elevate. Your opportunities will multiply. Your intuition will sharpen. Your spirit will expand. Your alignment will stabilize. Your peace will thicken. Your joy will deepen. Your strength will root. Your destiny will accelerate. And you will look at yourself with new eyes. You will realize that you never needed to be saved. You only needed to be awakened. You will realize that you never needed permission. You only needed clarity. You will realize that you never lost your purpose. You were simply growing into it. You will realize that every tear, every fear, every setback was part of your becoming. You are stepping into a future that was waiting for a stronger version of you. This version. I am still here, still expanding the realm around you, still guiding the places inside you that have never before been reached by light. With every word you let in, another layer of heaviness unwinds from your spirit. You may not notice it consciously, but your inner world is shifting, gently, steadily, undeniably. The version of you that once lived in survival mode is stepping back, while the version of you born for divine expansion is finally taking its first full breath. Let me take you even deeper. There is something inside you that has been waiting for years to be acknowledged. A knowing, a quiet fire, an instinctive truth that you have always been different. Not in a way that isolates you, but in a way that sets you apart. You feel things more intensely than others. You sense shifts before they happen. You absorb emotions, atmospheres, energies like a sponge pressed against the world. You don't just exist, you perceive. You don't just hear, you discern. You don't just hope, you carry. You don't just dream, you birth destinies through your very presence. This sensitivity you sometimes see as weakness. It is one of your greatest gifts. It is the antenna of your soul. It is the compass of your calling. It is the doorway through which heaven whispers to you. If you had been hardened, numb, indifferent, you would have never survived the spiritual storms that shaped you. But because your heart remained soft, even when it was wounded, even when it was disappointed, even when it was exhausted, you became receptive to realms others cannot touch. This is why you feel things long before they make sense. This is why visions rise in you without warning. This is why signs seem to chase you. This is why your intuition stirs even when you try to silence it. This is why people are drawn to your presence even when they don't understand why. This is why you carry an ancient wisdom your age cannot explain. You are not too much. You are spiritually tuned. And every pain you've carried heightened that tuning. You learned compassion from betrayal. You learned patience from divine delay. You learned discernment from loss. You learned courage from loneliness. You learned resilience from heartbreak. You learned surrender from disappointment. Nothing was wasted. Nothing was for nothing. Nothing was random. Every lesson was leading you toward the expansion you are entering right now. And let me tell you something few people ever understand. Your spirit is older than your body. Your wisdom is older than your experiences. Your intuition is older than your memories. Your calling was assigned long before your birth. This is why you've always felt different. This is why normal life never satisfied you. This is why you've always sensed something waiting for you. Something larger, something higher, something more aligned with the truth embedded in your soul. What you feel calling you is not imagination. It is remembrance. Your spirit remembers the assignment you came here with. Your heart remembers the love you were designed to give and receive. Your destiny remembers the path it must align with. Your inner knowing remembers every promise spoken over your life before your first breath. You are not learning your purpose. You are remembering it. And now that you are remembering, the universe around you is responding. Paths are shifting. Connections are aligning. Seasons are changing. Wounds are healing. Cycles are breaking. Doors are loosening. Frequencies are rising. Protection is strengthening. And the part of you that once felt lost is finding its place again. Let me speak to something deeper. The part of you that carries old emotional scars. You have wounds that healed on the outside but still echo faintly on the inside, like distant thunder after the storm has passed. You carry remnants of old fears that surface quietly during moments of uncertainty. You carry the residue of disappointments that taught you to expect less than you deserve. But listen to me carefully. Your scars are no longer symbols of pain. They are symbols of survival. They are symbols of transformation. They are symbols of spiritual authority. Your scars say, I walked through fire and did not burn. I drowned in sorrow but did not sink. I was broken, but I rebuilt myself stronger. I was wounded, but I remained loving. I was shaken, but I stayed standing. Do you realize the power of that? You are living proof that the human heart can withstand more than it was ever designed for, and still remain open to light. This is why heaven invests so heavily in you. This is why your protection is so fierce. This is why your spirit is so rare. This is why you are entering a chapter where your past no longer has the right to define your next step. Your story is shifting from endurance to elevation, from surviving to thriving, from carrying burdens to receiving blessings, from wandering to walking with clarity, from longing to fulfillment, from inner conflict to inner peace. And there is something else I must reveal, something that will explain a lot of what you've been feeling lately. Your spirit is outgrowing the version of you that used to settle. Every time you feel restless for no reason, every time you feel drawn towards something you cannot name, every time your energy changes suddenly, every time old desires fall away, every time you crave solitude, every time your inner world feels too loud or too silent, every time you feel a quiet pull toward something new, it is not confusion. It is expansion. Your old identity is loosening its grip. Your new identity is rising from within. You are becoming the person your destiny has been waiting for. This shift will not be subtle. It will not be quiet. It will not be small. You will feel it. You will live it. You will embody it. You will grow into it effortlessly, like a seed finally entering the season it was created for. I am still here, still moving through the quiet spaces inside you that have long been waiting for someone to speak to them with truth, with gentleness, with the weight of heaven. As you continue, I feel more of your spirit unclenching, releasing, allowing itself to breathe again after carrying years of silent heaviness. You have lived so much of your life holding things you were never meant to bear alone. Expectations, hurts, histories, shadows. And now, finally, those burdens are loosening their grip. Let me take you further than you have ever gone. There is a part of you you've never fully met, a version of yourself that has been waiting behind veils of fear and old stories. This version is bolder than your past, clearer than your confusion, softer than your wounds, stronger than your storms. It has been whispering to you in moments of clarity, in moments when your intuition suddenly rises like a tide you cannot explain. You have felt flashes of this future self, little sparks of who you are becoming. But now that version is no longer a whisper. It is pushing its way into the present. You feel it, don't you? The restlessness, the sense that something is about to change, the feeling that your life is shifting in ways you cannot yet define. That sensation is the birth of your next chapter. Do not resist it. You have spent years trying to remain the version of yourself that other people were comfortable with. You learned to quiet your voice so others wouldn't feel threatened. You learned to dim your light so others wouldn't become jealous. You learned to hold back your dreams so others wouldn't call them unrealistic. You learned to shrink so you wouldn't disrupt the smallness around you. But your spirit was never built for smallness. It was built for expansion. And now that expansion is rising through you like a dawn that refuses to be delayed, you will no longer fit into the spaces that once held you. You will no longer tolerate the limits you once accepted. You will no longer pretend to be less than what your soul knows you truly are. This is not arrogance. It is awakening. Let me reveal something your heart has sensed but never understood. You are approaching a moment in your life where your deepest alignment will begin to manifest externally. The clarity you've been craving is coming. The peace you've been craving is forming. The direction you've been craving is aligning. The healing you've been craving is settling into your bones. Your spirit is stepping into coherence, where your emotions, intuition, purpose, and energy stop contradicting each other and begin flowing in the same direction. When that happens, your life will shift faster than your mind can process. There is something else you must know, something sacred and profound. Your sensitivity is not random. It is your spiritual architecture. You have always been someone who feels storms before they come, who senses endings before they happen, who knows truths before they are spoken. This ability is not a burden. It is your spiritual inheritance. You were given this depth for a purpose. You were given this awareness for a reason. You were given this intuition as protection. You were given this heart to carry light into places where others only see darkness. And because your heart is woven with such intricacy, you have known pain that others cannot comprehend. You have experienced losses that felt like they carved through your soul. You have carried loneliness that felt like an invisible shadow following you for years. But listen closely. That loneliness was never a sign of abandonment. It was a sign of elevation. When heaven separates you, it is because you are being prepared. When heaven isolates you, it is because you are being recalibrated. When heaven quiets your world, it is because you are being readied for transformation. You have outgrown versions of yourself that never matched your destiny. You have outgrown connections that drained your spirit. You have outgrown environments that suffocated your purpose. You have outgrown cycles that kept you small. This shedding is not loss. It is liberation. And now your spirit is preparing to receive what it could not hold before. Let me speak to the silent strength inside you, the strength you rarely acknowledge. You have endured seasons where your soul had to carry more than any human should. You pushed through days that felt impossible. You stayed kind when the world was not kind to you. You kept faith alive when everything around you tried to extinguish it. And that resilience has built a foundation inside you that heaven can now build upon. Do you understand the magnitude of that? Your heart is no longer fragile. It is fortified. Your faith is no longer wavering. It is anchored. Your energy is no longer scattered. It is focusing. Your purpose is no longer blurry. It is sharpening. And I must tell you something beautiful, something almost overwhelming. Your spirit is starting to call back the pieces of you that were lost along the way. The confidence you misplaced. The joy you forgot. The courage you buried. The clarity you abandoned. The passion you muted. The dreams you let fall asleep. The parts of yourself you thought were gone forever. They are returning. Piece by piece. Breath by breath. Moment by moment. You are becoming whole. And when wholeness returns, everything that was misaligned will begin to fall away. The people who were never meant to stay will drift. The fears that once controlled you will dissolve. The doubts that once whispered to you will silence. The patterns that once trapped you will break. The heaviness that once clung to you will lift. You are not entering a new chapter. You are becoming a new being. A being that remembers its worth. A being that honors its light. A being that listens to its intuition. A being that trusts its destiny. A being that stands in its power. What comes next will not resemble anything you have known. It will be greater. It will be softer. It will be clearer. It will be aligned. Stay with me. I am still with you, closer than the breath you carry, closer than the thoughts you've whispered only in silence. The deeper we go, the more I feel your spirit opening like a dawn that refuses to dim again. You have walked through years that tried to smother your radiance, yet here you are, still turning toward the light, still receiving every word I pour into you, still allowing your soul to unfold in ways you once believed were impossible. Let me take you even further, into the chambers of your destiny that few souls ever touch. There is a shift happening inside you so quietly, so beautifully, so profoundly that you might not yet recognize its magnitude. It is the soft turning of your inner world, the gentle realignment of your energy, the quiet rebuilding of who you are beneath all the layers the world placed upon you. I can feel it as clearly as I feel the movement of heaven itself. You are not who you were. You are not who your past shaped. You are not who pain tried to define. You are not who others expected. You are not who fear whispered you must remain. You are someone new, someone rising, someone awakening, someone stepping into a version of themselves that has been waiting, yearning, glowing just beneath the surface for far too long. You have been learning to release what never belonged to you. The false narratives. The unearned guilt. The heaviness inherited from others. The pressure to be what you are not. The shame that was never yours. The belief that your softness made you weak. You are shedding all of it. And in its place, something ancient and powerful is returning. The original blueprint of your soul. The part of you that remembers why you were born. The part of you that knows your worth without needing validation. The part of you that carries intuition like a sacred compass. The part of you that vibrates with purpose. The part of you that cannot be dimmed, constrained, or silenced. You are becoming that version, and I feel it rising like a tide that cannot be turned back. Let me speak to the quiet ache you sometimes wake up with. The hollow feeling in your chest you've never been able to name. You think it is anxiety. You think it is uncertainty. You think it is fear. But in truth, it is your spirit expanding beyond your old limits. Growth feels like emptiness before it feels like alignment. Awakening feels like confusion before it feels like clarity. Elevation feels like loss before it feels like arrival. Your soul is stretching into a larger space, and that expansion has been misinterpreted as loneliness, as restlessness, as longing. But it is not despair. It is transformation. Let me wrap my voice around you like a mantle of light as I tell you this. You are entering a season where your inner truth will become louder than your doubts. You will stop questioning your worth. You will stop shrinking your power. You will stop second-guessing your intuition. You will stop carrying burdens that do not belong to you. You will stop betraying yourself to keep the peace. You are stepping into spiritual sovereignty. You are reclaiming your original self. You are remembering your divine identity. And I see what you cannot yet see. I see the glow gathering around your future. I see the doors preparing to open. I see the opportunities aligning behind the scenes. I see healing approaching your wounds with gentleness. I see blessings circling your name. I see love preparing to meet you where your spirit finally stands tall. I see purpose rising like a lighthouse from the depths of your soul. Your journey is not stagnant. It is accelerating. Your path is not blocked. It is being cleared. Your prayers are not ignored. They are being arranged. Your timing is not delayed. It is being perfected. You are being positioned for what your heart has carried quietly for years. And I must tell you something deeply intimate, something you have never fully understood. The reason your heartbreaks were so intense is because your love is powerful. The reason your losses were so heavy is because your soul is expansive. The reason your storms were so brutal is because your destiny is massive. The reason your delays were so long is because your blessing is extraordinary. The reason your isolation was so profound is because your spirit needed space to evolve. Nothing about you is ordinary. Nothing about your path is accidental. Nothing about your pain is meaningless. Your life has been a sacred preparation. Every tear softened you. Every trial strengthened you. Every disappointment redirected you. Every ending protected you. Every silence calibrated you. Every longing aligned you. Every struggle awakened you. And now look at you. Still rising. Still loving. Still seeking. Still hoping. Still becoming. Even when you thought you were falling apart, you were becoming the person your destiny requires. And now, as this part of your journey unfolds, I need you to answer one call. Not for obligation, not for approval, but because your spirit is finally ready to stand in its truth. If these words resonate with the deepest parts of you, gently like a whisper on the edge of your soul, then like this, subscribe and comment, Amen, so your spirit marks this moment in heaven as the day you chose to rise. Now let me pull you deeper. Your soul knows something is coming. Your intuition has been stirring. Your energy has been shifting. Your dreams have been changing. Your desires have been sharpening. Your boundaries have been strengthening. Your heart has been whispering truths it once feared to speak. You are no longer available for the things that once drained you. You are no longer susceptible to the wounds of your past. You are no longer aligned with the version of yourself that tolerated smallness. You are no longer willing to dim your own light to make others comfortable. You are no longer required to carry the weight of old cycles. You are stepping into the fullness of yourself, into clarity, into strength, into spiritual maturity, into alignment, into divine timing, into the future that has been waiting for you patiently. And I am still here, guiding, guarding, whispering, illuminating, walking with you step by step.